It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Joined in the booth with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, this is Kevin Harlan. Our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. We're in San Antonio. The Spurs with home court playing here at the AT&T Center. So here's Oklahoma City's starting group. Westbrook and Robertson are the backcourt pair. Patrick Patterson is out there with Paul George. And it's Adams in at center. Every year they'll always put out an NBA survey of who is the toughest to guard. No surprise that Russell Westbrook is almost always at the top of the list in those surveys. He just, Greg, strikes fear in opposing defenders.
And Kevin, it's a result of several factors in terms of why he tops that list. He has the game and the body to punish you for all four quarters, and he never lets up in his intensity. And also a knack for putting players who are caught sleeping on posters. It is both physically and mentally draining guarding a guy like Westbrook.
Banked in off the glass. Westbrook's got 5 points so far.
Well, he's edge of your seat material out in transition. Westbrook is equally adept at pulling up for the shot or taking it to the rack.
Thunder off to a quick start here. It's a 5-point game. Here's Robertson. Not really his range, and it's off target. Not a fast start here for the Spurs. Leonard dishes to Gasol. Down low. Shot clock at 5. And here's Leonard from 3. Offensive rebound, Spurs. About a minute and a half through the first quarter. Gasol inside. Adams on him. Gasol kicks to Gay. Three-pointer. They get it again. Aldridge, the pass to Parker. Back to Aldridge. Just about 2 minutes into the game. First quarter of basketball. Aldridge can't get that one to fall.
Yeah, slow start right now. 5 straight misses to get this one going.
Yeah, and coming into the league, Adams would sometimes be a little bit soft around the rim. No more.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Here's Aldridge, and it's blocked. Westbrook kicks to Adams, and that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Gasol. If you're just tuning in, we played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. Westbrook dishes to Patterson. Outside, George. Patterson setting the pick for George. Count the basket. It's amazing to watch these NBA athletes competing every day. You and I get the lucky seat right there in front midcourt. Such size, such athleticism. It's intimidating. Who are the most intimidating players you think in the game today?
If you go to Detroit and you want to match up with number 0 there and Andre Drummond,
look out.
You're in for a long night.
Harness yourself in.
The way that he can patrol the middle, Kevin, and the way he's relentless at coming at the offensive glass and the defensive glass all game long. I'm really interested in the development of Andre Drummond as the centerpiece, figuratively and literally, for the Detroit Pistons. I still think about the amazing fact that Russell Westbrook came into the NBA as a 2 guard and not a true point. He's becoming one of the most effective distributors in the league.
Parker kicks to Aldridge. Will it go? Kicks it out to Leonard. Fires from deep. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Leonard's got his first 3 points of the game.
So money on the catch and shoot. I don't know what the defense is doing there, giving Kawhi that shot.
You talk, Brent, about Westbrook's basket. He draws so much attention with his scoring. He draws multiple defenders.
Well, I think the 2015-16 season showed tremendous amount of maturity in Russell Westbrook's game in being a playmaker for this team. Almost a fifth of his passes resulted in made baskets. That's easily the best in the league. He's a good shot creator, but his passing step in the right direction. And the Thunder, one of the best shooting teams in the league, and if they don't get you with that first shot, they have guys inside prepared for those misses to hurt you the second time around.
Aldridge. And it comes off the front of the rim.
Yeah, this is a terrible start for him, and it has to be weighing on him.
Patterson. Kick out to Adams. Now the pass to Roberson. Back to Adams. George with no one around. Drops in the tray. George has got 8 points. And you look at the Thunder's work on second effort plays. Brent, a lot of big bodies in their front court who don't mind throwing their weight around.
Well, Russell Westbrook himself is a phenomenal rebounding guard, but I think what happens too is that players on OKC set themselves up in great position to clean up any misses.
Now here's Leonard, following the miss by Tony Parker. For 3. The rebound by Patterson.
He just doesn't seem to be himself shooting the ball right now, guys. Just looks a tad bit uneasy, and that's affecting the result.
Leonard with the ball. Right side Gasol. It's stolen by Adams. And now the fast break. George with the ball. Rebounded by the Spurs.
The defense arrived just in the nick of time to throw him off there. So fortunate he missed that one, guys.
Buries it from 3-point range.
And sometimes it just doesn't matter how good the D is. Kawhi with the all-world ability to hit the jumper even when you got him blanketed.
And first time out of the game called for Oklahoma City.
And did not seem happy about how things are going on right now, and maybe wants to make some changes.
There might also be an opportunity here that he can exploit a mismatch. We'll see.
Five seconds left in the first quarter. Here's Westbrook. No good trying to beat the buzzer. And an overpowering first quarter effort. Already a double-digit advantage. Thunder out in front, up 11. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. And a chance to hear from Tony Parker.
I always try to improve and get better.
And in Tony Parker's case, great is what he wanted to be and has been for a long time.
You know, that's great because that shows pops and why he's one of the best in the game. You got to be able to drive and motivate and also give the confidence. And that's what's happened with Tony Parker. Remember when he first came on the scene, it was not a cakewalk for him. He had his struggles, and now we're talking about a guy who's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
First personal foul. Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And guys, we've seen the Thunder really take control here.
It's been about the pace. You can see they're going to try to keep this game in the open floor.
Once they get out there in the open court, the speed and athleticism just takes over. Not much you can do to stop it.
On the floor for Oklahoma City, getting going here in the second quarter. Westbrook and Roberson are the backcourt pair. Paul George is out there with Patrick Patterson. And it's Adams in at the 5 spot. Now here's Mills. Kicks it to LeVert. 4 on the clock from outside the arc. Out of bounds. Oklahoma City takes possession. And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, guys, we know Greg Popovich uses a lot of different tools to motivate his players. Sometimes it's the things he doesn't say that works best. Popovich said, sometimes in timeouts, I'll say, I've got nothing for you. We just turned it over 6 times. Everybody's holding the ball. What do you want me to do? Figure it out. And I'll get up and walk away because it's true. It's on them. Kevin?
Thanks, T.A. That accountability goes a long way. And watching Adams go to work out there, he is a bit of an old school big man in the sense that, Brent, he'll throw his weight around and look to intimidate the other team.
Yeah, Adams willing to take on that role, take the punches and take the hits for the rest of his team. And it goes along with his great defensive instincts, I think. His activity down low, certainly a big help for this team's defense.
Now here's Anderson. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard.
And the three-point shot is money from Laverne. Can't let him get a clean look from there.
Here's Westbrook, 13-point lead. He dishes it to Patterson. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. San Antonio's gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. Laverne passes to Green. The kick out to Anderson. No good on the triple.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
George, no good.
Well, he's a great finisher around the rim, but some stellar defense there stopped that from happening.
And stolen by Patterson. Westbrook kicks to George. That one's not going to go. Spurs trail by 13. And here's Anderson for 3. They get the rebound. Laverne dishes to Mills. The three-pointer is right on target. Mills has got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. The Hail Mary from beyond half court is off target. Oklahoma City has gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. Patterson, the screen to the inside. It's stolen by Green. Mills in the corner. Back to Green. Lets the 3 fly. Cracks in the tray. Green's got it back down to a single-digit deficit for the Spurs.
Greg Popovich of the Spurs, a 3-time Coach of the Year, could have been many more times, and you can count the rings. No question, when it's all said and done, he'll be in the Hall of Fame and in the pantheon of legendary coaches.
You think about Popovich retiring, he said he didn't think he'd finish out the entirety of his 5-year contract, which runs through 2019.
Yeah, we'll find out. I know Pop has always told the story that when Tim Duncan finishes his playing career, that Pop would finish his as well, because he doesn't want to suffer the consequences of not coaching Tim Duncan. But the Spurs have done a great job of restocking their team with LaMarcus Aldridge and the evolution of Kawhi Leonard. And maybe the old fellow will stick around a little bit more.
Aldridge kicks to Gasol. Parker outside. And Leonard has it in the corner. Misses the 3. The Thunder leading by 9. Here's George. Good D by Parker. Leonard against George. The 19-foot shot. And Leonard gets it to go. Leonard's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
And there just aren't many guys that have a more devastating mid-range game. Leonard has fine-tuned that shot to where it's almost automatic.
Now here's Cantor. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. And just thinking about the way Cantor's career has gone, a lot of high expectations early, Brent, and a starting job after he moved teams.
And I think that might be a key for Cantor in the role of being a scoring big man off the bench. Really can play to his strength, and he can take advantage of another team's second unit, maybe not ready or equipped to handle what he brings to the table offensively. Well, what you have to like about Enes Kanter, defense aside, is that he's an efficient scorer. He's got great instincts to offensive rebound and be in position for somebody to feed him the ball on the inside.
And the Thunder making a change here. Grant, he's checked in for Patterson. Kyle Singler comes in for George. Doug McDermott, he's checked in for Roberson. That's Felton in for Russell Westbrook. The Thunder have only 1 missed free throw. They've had 5 attempts and made 4 of them.
And 75% on the season as a unit from the free throw line.
Such a big guy, Kanter, but also incredibly lean. At the NBA Combine, for instance, he tested out at 6% body fat, an extraordinarily low number for a man of his size.
Leonard on the wing. He's covered by Singler. Aldridge with a screen on Grant. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Leonard. Here's Gasol. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And the long arms of Gasol wreaking havoc on the D. They don't know what to do with him when he's going up with a shot like that.
This is his first chance at the line tonight.
And he's there at 71 from the line this season, probably below where you'd like to see him.
Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line. The Thunder leading by 7. Felton the pass to Cantor. And Cantor throws it down.
And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
When you're playing from behind, you cannot let your opponent have things that are that easy. And that was easy.
The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. Thunder lead by 6. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Here.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here once again, joined by there was no stopping Russell Westbrook in the first half. He had 12 points, 2 assists, and 1 steal. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
Well, I like that they're aggressively going to the rack. That establishes an attitude, a certain toughness. They just need to stay committed to their game plan.
Shaq, what did you see from San Antonio?
Well, this is a close game. Every point matters. Right now, they're not getting to the line much. To win this kind of matchup, you got to be the aggressor. You got to be, you just got to be aggressive. Let's just see if they can ramp up their intensity, Ernie.
All right, that is going to wrap up our halftime report.
The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game. Well, you look at Russell Westbrook in this game. He has been everywhere.
And his play in that first half, how about the discipline to go along with the efficiency, guys? His shot selection was just perfect.
Might also look at the coach and his game plan in terms of trying to find those good looks. They'll be looking to do the same here down the stretch.
Mills teams up with Green in the backcourt. Laverne out there with the main. And it's Anderson in at the 3 spot. So that's who Greg Popovich starts the second half with. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, LaMarcus Aldridge has overcome a lot. As a child, his home life was not easy, and he was born with a heart condition. In fact, shortly after he was born, his heart stopped, and he had to be resuscitated. But Kevin, he said, I wouldn't take back any pain that I've endured on or off the court because it's made me who I am. And Kevin, that's a story all of us can be inspired by.
Thank you, D.A. Here's Insanity. From 13. Rebound, San Antonio. Laverne's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Spurs trail by 5. And Brent, you look at how the Spurs played last season, and any other season they might have had the best record in the league.
Well, they did have the best record that Greg Popovich has had as a coach with San Antonio, with 67 wins. And it was under the radar because of the Warriors' historic mark last year with 73. But it was the first time in history that the NBA had 2 different 35-win teams at the midway point of the season. It set up the stage for an epic showdown, and really some people let down that never happened.
San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Green kicks to Anderson. San Antonio again missing.
Ooh, and this is turning into a slow start here in the second half. Seems like they left that offense in the locker room.
Outside, Felton. There's a screen by Cantor. Felton dishes to Cantor, and Cantor throws it down.
Well, not explosive. Cantor shows some mobility right there on the pick and roll.
Now here's Mills. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Deep 2 from Anderson. Money from the wing. Here is Felton, leading by 5. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. Laverne with the steal. But he gets it back.
Yeah, maybe a little luck, maybe a little bit of heart. Both of those at play here. He's getting every offensive rebound. Downtown marksman, always a little surprising how consistent he is from deep because he's such a big guy.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over. The brand new won titles in San Antonio. They led the way, but it seems like nowadays smaller market teams are becoming just as competitive as the ones in big cities.
Well, I think for guys, they understand watching these small market teams over the course of the last 10, even 15 years, seeing the success that the teams are having not only on the floor winning championships, but individually where these players show up. They're showing up in commercials. They've got their shoe deals. So the idea of the mass market has gone away. You can have the same kind of exposure, Kevin, as long as you're on one of those 30 NBA teams. They're going to find you.
So much is on TV. You talked about this before. So much is online. Every game is seen. Every player is talking about it.
Yeah, there's no way that you can hide from that kind of exposure. So guys who are looking at teams in the future of where it is that they'd like to play the game, big cities really aren't mattering as much to them anymore.
That free throw good from...
And this last offseason, Pau Gasol coming over to the Spurs in free agency, it seems to be the exact kind of player that the Spurs would want on their team, especially with his basketball IQ. Pau liked the fit as well, and it didn't take long for him to join San Antonio.
Here's Parker after Enes Kanter's basket. And for Gasol on the Spurs, it was actually another Gasol that was prompting Pau to join the team. His brother Mark told him, go to San Antonio.
And what is strange is that Mark is very much on a team that rivals the Spurs. So I don't think Mark was doing it just so he could battle his older brother 4 times a year. I think he meant what he said with the Spurs. They are a great organization and would probably make the best fit for Pau at the end of his career.
Now, here's Kanter. He's got 9 and stolen by Gay. Eustace passes to Felton. Oklahoma City moving it around, and Kanter throws it down.
The sheer strength of Kanter really coming through there. Throws it down with intent.
Spurs trail by 3. Parker outside. There's the feed to Leonard. That's to Aldridge. Pass to Gasol. The Spurs need to get a shot off here. And the dunk by Aldridge.
A big man with a big finish.
Here's McDermott. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And you look at the Thunder last season, they were slept on as a contender for the title. Warriors and Spurs, very, very good, but in the same conference. Might have helped the Thunder to stay focused and fly under the radar just a little bit more.
And usually the Thunder are favorites to go deep, and that's exactly what they did last year, all the way to the Western Conference Finals.
Well, you look at what Westbrook represented in Oklahoma City over the past 5 or 6 seasons, and there's no doubt with that kind of talent, you're going to have a chance every year, Kevin, to make a deep push.
Now here is Aldridge. Looking for Gasol. He gets it there.
And over the years, Gasol has proven himself to be a valuable teammate. Someone guys love to be around. A guy that plays well with just about anybody.
3 trips to the line so far for him in this one. And he knocks down the first one. And Oklahoma City making a change here. And so Gasol nails them both. Here is Felton. The Thunder have shot the ball well from the free throw line. 8 of 9. Free throw good, Felton. Both free throws good from Felton.
Free throw shooting. Just another part of his game. He does extremely well.
And Patrick Mills gets that whistle that time. That's his first foul.
Not sure, maybe the pressure of the moment got to him there. A really careless error that might ultimately cost the team.
Singler for three. That one misses.
Oh, that's a tough three-point try when you've got the defense right there.
Yeah, awesome job right there of closing out on the shooter to contest. May have made him adjust that just a bit.
We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. Thunder out in front, up 3. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The fourth quarter is coming up next.
Moments make players into stars. Moments make teams legendary. This is my moment. This is my team.
And we're set to start the action up here in the fourth quarter. And if it's anything like the first 3, we should be in for a treat. The Thunder leading by 3. And Oklahoma City, looking who they've got to start the fourth quarter. Westbrook and Robertson are the backcourt pair. Patrick Patterson is out there with Steven Adams. And it's George in at the 3 slot.
He's one of those guys the defense always has to watch out for. Burned him there.
And San Antonio shooting only 32% from the field. Plenty of signs of struggle by this offense today. Laverne, it's hauled in by Adams. Adams has got rebound number 7 for him tonight. To the left side wing. Here's Patterson. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
And the Spurs, known as an organization for their diligence and discipline. It's all about their results and certainly about the accountability from coach to player, and more importantly, Kevin, from player to player.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. Both shots good from the stripe. And you talk about the Spurs culture. They seem totally unconcerned with who gets the limelight. In fact, Brent, they seem to avoid it.
Yeah, there always is this idea that they dance around those spotlights until it's the biggest of stages. But the team really does have just one agenda, Kevin, and that is becoming the best basketball team that they can by the end of the season. And in some years, that means championships. And in other years, it means just contending for a title. But every year, they're making that push.
Now here's Leonard. To the paint, off the pick, and Aldridge slams it in.
Almost impossible to contain Aldridge on the pick and roll. As long as he makes that separation happen, he's going to knock it down.
And the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That's foul number 2 for him.
Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
Spurs trail by 4. Parker outside. George against Leonard. Six on the shot clock. To the inside. There's the foul. It's on Patrick Patterson. That is his first foul of the game. Outside Aldridge. Lock at 6. Gay kicks to Aldridge. And he dunks it right on Patrick Patterson. Ouch!
And some hang time on the rim. Puts a little cherry on the top of that slam.
Well, those kind of displays of strength can get one team rolling. And that last replay courtesy of Kia.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Parker against Westbrook. Aldridge dishes to Gasol to tie it up. Shoots over Adams, and Adams sends it back.
Adams is a decent shot blocker, but relies on his position mostly, that time in the right spot.
And stolen by Aldridge. And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Parker outside. Gasol passes to Aldridge. And the dunk by Aldridge.
Exceptional shot-making ability there, especially considering the stakes. Aldridge stepping up.
Oklahoma City's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Here's George. Good. Nice assist from Westbrook. And that's 13 points for George.
And they'll be counting on even more points from him. That's essential if they're going to pull this game out.
Close game, fourth quarter. This is his time.
Just trying to get a break in the action to clear some heads here. I mean, they've gone ice cold, and not a bad idea to give them a little quick breather.
Well, take your breather, but then come up with a game plan or a set that produces something high percentage. Let's get back on track.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
During that break, Greg Popovich really had some strong advice for his team. He told them, hey, this game is there for you, but we got to go get it. 50-50 balls, get into the basket. We have to give it all right now. Kevin?
On the clock, there's the foul. It's on Patrick Patterson. That's foul number 2 for him. A bit under 3.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth. Leonard kicks to Gasol. And Adams sends it back. Here's George. Doesn't go for it. So the Spurs will take it the other way. Leonard attacking. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. Leonard's got the game tied up here for San Antonio. Leonard against George. 6 to shoot. Feeds away. Will not go. This is off the front iron. What an opportunity here.
Yeah, chance to take the lead. This is huge.
This all setting the pick for Parker. Inside. Money!
Those are huge points.
As important a bucket as we've seen all game long.
And here's Westbrook. Adams outside. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. Patterson, the screen. The 3 from George. And it's George again missing.
Yeah, unfortunate there, guys. Just a poorly set screen, and he didn't want to sacrifice his body to spring open his teammates.
Had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
He hits the first one, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And so he drops them both. It's a 4-point ball game.
Perfect from the line. It's now a 2-possession game.
Now a timeout called by Oklahoma City. They're behind by 4. 16 seconds left in the fourth quarter. They set the pick. Takes a 3. And so it's San Antonio who scraped by with the win. It was a fantastic ball game, and they did a great job making sure it didn't get away from them late.
Yeah, I mean, they faced some challenges, but really held firm when they needed to. On both ends, just effective in terms of coming away with this win.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, pal.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thanks, Kev. And now we have the opportunity to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Pau Gasol. I'll tell you what, his season high in points powered everything they did. Clearly, he was the catalyst tonight as they come away with a well-deserved W.
Well, when Pau Gasol decides to take the game over like he did tonight, he owns the low post. Because two things have to...
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. For Kenny Smith,